All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So this video is going to be the full recap of the 2018 New York Pro. Obviously, there was Classic Physique, there was Men's Open Bodybuilding, there was 212, and there's a lot of stuff to cover, and that's why I broke it down into several different videos throughout the day. But if you guys don't feel like watching a bunch of individual videos, I'm going to cover everything in this video here, starting with Men's Open Bodybuilding, the results. So after prejudging, it was pretty clear that it was going to be between Nathan Asha and Juan Morel. I myself thought Nathan Asha had the edge after prejudging, and that turned out to be the case. And Nathan Asha would win the 2018 New York Pro, beating Juan Morel, who took second, Justin Luis Rodriguez, who took third, and Josh Wade, who took fourth, and then John De La Rosa coming in fifth place. Now, although this was a pretty deep lineup, there were 26 IFBB Pro Men's Open bodybuilders competing. It wasn't the most impressive or really that deep lineup. There were some big names on there, but really conditioning turned out to be an issue for a lot of guys, including Lionel Bayeki, Akeem Williams, who I expected a little bit more from. And even some of the guys who placed in the top five, their conditioning left a little bit to be desired. So it wasn't really the top best of the best. I don't think a whole lot of these guys were really competing at 110%. Some of these guys were maybe more like 90, 95%. But I still think Nathan Asha, who won the show, did look incredible and did deserve that win. Nathan Asha is going to be one of the fastest rising stars in bodybuilding. He's got an incredible physique. He's got crazy density and freakiness to him. He's just really complete. And that being said, I do think it was a good top five, and I do think the New York Pro was very, very entertaining this year. So the Men's Open Bodybuilding lineup, there's a couple guys that weren't in that lineup. First, I want to talk about Regan Grimes. Regan Grimes initially announced that he was going to be competing in Men's Open Bodybuilding. I believe he announced that on RX Muscle on one of Dave's Live With interviews. He said, "No, I know I said before that I'm planning on doing Classic Physique from this point forward, but I really have my sights set on Men's Open for the New York Pro." Well, as it turned out, that was not the case, and he would, in fact, overnight decide to compete at the Classic Physique division. In fact, the judges didn't even know he was switching over to Classic Physique, so no one really knew this was happening except maybe him and his coach, and it was really a cool last-minute thing because it really played out good in his favor because he ended up winning the Classic Physique division, beating Divine Wilson and David Hoffman, who took second and third, respectively. Now, honestly, I actually think this was a really good move for Regan Grimes. I think, number one, he looked incredible. The fact that he was a downsized version of himself to make that weight class, I don't think was really that noticeable. He did have to downsize to make that category, but I really don't think he looked small or flat or depleted or any of that. I think the amount of weight and muscle that he had on his frame for this show was a good amount of weight, a good amount of muscle, and he really pulled it off very, very well, in my opinion. And again, this was a very brave and very bold move for him to do a show like this and to make a jump like this because he really had no idea what to expect. I mean, this guy's never competed in Classic before. He was used to Men's Open Bodybuilding. He jumps in Classic, basically an overnight decision, and wins a very high-level Classic Physique Pro show. So my hat's off to Regan Grimes for winning this show. I think it was very impressive. Now, that being said, I think second and third, honestly, you could have switched. I'm a fan of Divine Wilson. I do think he was robbed at the Pittsburgh Pro when he lost to Steve Lorius. However, he was given second here, but I think the guy that placed third, David Hoffman, looked absolutely incredible, and you could have made a strong argument for him placing second, or even an argument for him pushing Regan Grimes for that win. So in addition to Regan not being in the Men's Open Bodybuilding lineup, there was a little bit of controversy about Sergio Oliva Jr. Now, in my prediction video, I didn't mention Sergio Oliva Jr. at all. He wasn't on the list, and I had heard nothing about him competing, and apparently I was right the first time. But when I made that prediction video, there's a bunch of people commenting, "Bro, you left out Sergio Oliva Jr. He just said he's competing." So sure enough, I go over to Sergio's Instagram, and he puts up a post where he says he's doing a last-minute entry to the Men's Open Bodybuilding division. So prejudging comes around, and Sergio Oliva is not anywhere in the photos or anywhere in the lineup. So in my prejudging video, I say that Sergio Oliva did not do the show. He must have dropped out at the last minute. And of course, the same people that were saying, "Bro, you left out Sergio in your last video," were the same people saying, "Bro, you're a dumbass. Sergio is obviously trolling in his post." So anyway, I was right the first time. Sergio was not competing. His announcement was just, to troll people. So that's why Sergio Oliva was not in this lineup. Now that brings us to the 212 bodybuilding competition. Now, like I said, there's a lot going on at this 2018 New York Pro. In addition to the Regan Grimes crossover to Classic Physique, you also had the Steve Lorius crossover to the 212 division. Now, originally, the reason that he gave for switching over to 212 was because he had a friend competing in Classic, and he had already won the Pittsburgh Pro, so he didn't need to requalify for the Olympia. So he didn't want to interfere with his friend's opportunity to qualify for the Olympia at this Classic Physique division. Then they would wait to go head-to-head until the Olympia. So he made kind of a one-time decision to compete in 212, or at least I hope it was just a one-time decision and not, a permanent thing. So Steve Laureus, in my opinion, did not look very good. His conditioning was bad. It looked like he tried very hard to fill out and carb up and kind of match these guys from a size standpoint. But I think that really played to his disadvantage because he looked pretty soft on stage, in my opinion. He looked watery. His conditioning, like I said, it just wasn't good. So not a very good look for Steve Laureus. And really, I think even if his conditioning was good, again, like I said in my prediction video, the 212 is an entirely different game than Classic Physique. 212 is looking at much shorter guys, looking for guys with a ton of muscle on a short frame, freaky guys like Jose Raymond and Flex Lewis. They're not looking for aesthetics. They're not really looking for the smallest waist. They're not really looking for the prettiest physique. 212 has always kind of been, a battle of the freakiest, gnarliest, who has the most muscle on their frame. And a lot of those guys are 5'5" and under. Now, Steve Laureus is 5'10", about 210 pounds. So when you're going up against a guy that's 5'3", 5'4", that weighs 210 pounds, and you're 6-7 inches taller than them at the same weight, they're going to look significantly more muscular than you. And that's what happened to Steve Laureus. I think no matter how good his conditioning was, there was really no shot for him at placing top 6 at this show or winning this show. And as far as I know, he placed outside of the top 10. I don't know if he finished dead last or not, but he was not really in the mix at all in this 212 show. So the winner of the 212 was Shaun Clarida. Now, Shaun Clarida is one of the most impressive bodybuilders I think I've ever seen from a pound-for-pound standpoint. Because he's so short, he only weighed 174 pounds on stage, but he looked like the most muscular guy on stage. I mean, this guy's a beast. And he beat out Zane Watson, who placed second. And I'm a big fan of Zane Watson. I've actually talked to him a few times on Instagram. He saw the video that I made about him and his dad. His dad, Mike Watson, was actually a golden era bodybuilder, and that's the guy that trains him and kind of teaches him how to pose, and it really helps him with his diet and is really responsible for his success today in the 212 division. So Zane Watson looked extremely impressive. I'm very happy for him to take that second place spot. Then in third, you had Ahmad Falzi. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this coverage of the New York Pro. I want to try more for you guys to give you guys wall-to-wall coverage of bodybuilding shows. Every time, a result or an announcement comes out, give you guys a video or a post on Instagram and keep you guys as up to the date as possible. Because I kind of noticed today that nobody else was really posting New York Pro videos, New York Pro commentary, New York Pro recap. So I wanted to get out as much content as I could for you guys, because I remember back when I watched bodybuilding videos myself and I was looking for updates and contest results. I was waiting all day, just like refreshing the page. Okay, when's someone going to talk about the results? I want to know who won. I want to know about prejudging. I want to know about this division or that division. So I wanted to do that for you guys and give you guys as much coverage as possible. So I hope you did enjoy it. I covered it on Instagram as well. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is @NickStrengthPower. Thank you guys for watching this video, and please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.